Okay, so next I'm going to show you how to make big chocolate curls. Now this step is completely optional. You don't have to do this. I know that sometimes if you're trying to save time, sometimes you just want to buy the chocolate curls or use chocolate shavings or something else. But this is just a neat little trick. It really isn't that difficult and it really doesn't take that much time. But it's just a nice way to jazz up your desserts and your cakes with a very nice, elegant looking decoration. Now I'm using a little over 2 ounces of coating chocolate, and coating chocolate is different from regular chocolate because all the cocoa butter has been replaced with vegetable oil, so we don't have to worry about tempering it, which makes it a little bit easier, but it's not as tasty because it has that weird, vegetable oil texture. It's softer and doesn't have that nice snap to it. Now if you want, of course, you can use tempered chocolate, but this is just a really quick and easy decoration, so if you don't want to fool around with tempering, this is a nice shortcut. You can usually find tempered chocolate at baking and pastry supply shops. You can also find them, they're called candy melts in craft stores, and even the grocery stores now are starting to carry them, and my grocery store calls them chocolate bark. So there's various different names for these. Just look for chocolate and check the back of the ingredients and see if the cocoa butter has been replaced with vegetable oil. It'll say right on the ingredients. So anyway, before this gets too cold, you want to have a piece of parchment paper about a quarter of a sheet pan tall, and you want to have it taped down with a little bit of tape just so it doesn't move or roll up. Now if you have flat-lying parchment paper, like mine comes in a roll, so mine curls up, but if you have flat one, you don't have to tape it down, that's not necessary. So you want to go ahead and pour in your coating chocolate. And I just melted my coating chocolate in the microwave. You don't have to do it over a double boiler. It's not as delicate as real chocolate. Then taking a small offset spatula, go ahead and push it around and make a nice, flat, even layer of chocolate. You don't have to go all the way to the edges, and you can make it a little bit thicker if you want. The thickness is up to you. Just make sure that it's even all the way around. So the next step is to cut the diamond shapes for the curls. Now if you notice, the chocolate isn't nearly as shiny as it used to be. It's got a nice, dull, matte, satin looking finish. Some of the middle parts are still kind of wet because it cools from the outside faster than the inside. But you want to start before it's all completely set because you don't want it to be nice and you don't want it to be all hard. So one of the first things you want to do is you want to cut a square. So you cut up all those uneven edges. Then what you want to do is you want to go ahead and start cutting horizontally in about 1 inch to a ½ inch pieces. Then doing the same thing, cut at a diagonal. I like to start in the middle. Okay, now before it completely sets up, take off the tape, take another piece of parchment paper, the same size as the other piece of parchment paper you started off with, turn it on a diagonal, then taking something that's narrow like a broomstick, I'm using my gum paste rolling pin, go ahead and roll up your chocolate curls. And the nice thing with working with coating chocolate too is that it doesn't set up as quickly as chocolate does, as tempered chocolate does, so you have a little bit more time to practice and play around with it. Tape it and keep it in the refrigerator. You can take out the dowel if you want. And then keep it in the refrigerator until you're ready to use it, or until it's set up. And it only takes, I'd say about 10 minutes to set up. Give it a good ½ an hour if you're concerned about it. But other than that, I'll show you how to take them out once it's all cooled off. Alright, and now for our chocolate curls. You remember it's been sitting in the refrigerator pretty much this entire time. They set up a lot faster than that, so you don't really need to leave it in there for that long. And now all you need to do is just pull apart the 2 pieces of parchment paper, and you have your chocolate curls. Now the thicker they are, the stronger they are. The thinner they are, the more delicate, but the more elegant they look. So that's just a way of looking at it. And you can also make them a little bit tighter if you roll it a little bit tighter, but I find that sometimes it's a little hard to get it that tight. So you can see that the finished curl is basically just a diamond. Alright, I'm just going to pretty much just leave it like that. And you can arrange the curls however you want. If you just want to just throw them on there in a very random design, that looks nice too. And like I said, you can use shaved chocolate, or you can grate it, or you can use very small chocolate curls by just taking a vegetable peeler and taking it to a solid block of real chocolate. However you want to decorate it is fine. And the remaining curls, of course, can be stored at room temperature in a plastic bag or a container for use whenever you are ready to use them again.